Hello everybody, Tyranno here, and today we've got a little bit more information on a long-awaited Finnish tank. I am of course talking about the BT-42, a tank that in many ways is the Finnish equivalent of the KV-2. This tank has been wanted by many people for a long time, and it's easy to see why, as it's a bit of a meme tank, being equipped with a large howitzer capable of one-shotting anything it encounters, while quickly moving across the battlefield. Indeed, the dev blog specifically mentions players using borderline silly tactics, though those who use it for more serious gameplay will still be able to do well with it. Historically, this vehicle came about due to the increasing obsolescence of the BT-7 light tank, which Finland had captured large numbers of during the Winter and Continuation Wars. As such, it was decided to fit a new turret armed with a British 4.5-inch or 114mm howitzer. This was an improvement in many ways, as it gave the Finns a vehicle capable of fast movement across the battlefield while armed with a very large gun. However, while this vehicle was effective against enemy fortifications and the like, it didn't do so well against enemy tanks, such as the T-34 or IS-2. This was largely due to ineffective heat shells, which in theory should have had a penetration of more than 100mm, but in practice just didn't work at all, primarily due to faulty fuses. By 1944, Finland had started to receive more modern and effective vehicles from Germany, so there was much less need for the BT-42, with the remaining vehicles being withdrawn from service. This might paint the BT-42 in a bit of a bad light, but in War Thunder, vehicles don't always fight contemporary tanks, and equipment always works as designed. So in game, this vehicle won't deal with the issues that it had to deal with in real life. And a vehicle armed with a 114mm howitzer firing HE or high penetrating heat shells is pretty much guaranteed to find great success in the game. There are of course still some downsides to the weapon, namely its slow muzzle velocity, which makes long range shooting much more difficult, slower traverse speed for the turret, and it will no doubt have a longer reload rate. But most of these issues can be managed, and of course they will be less of an issue if used in ambush situations. What is slightly more problematic is its thin armour, which maxes out at only 20mm thick. This makes it vulnerable to pretty much any weapon from 50 cals upwards, and as the roof armour is thinner, even smaller caliber weapons may penetrate this area, which is especially an issue as most of the crew are in the turret, so it would only take a brief strafing run to penetrate the turret and basically destroy the vehicle, or knock out all the crew. However, there are some mitigating factors to this problem, such as its high mobility. Now, I would have thought the BT-42 would be quite slow due to the extra weight, but its real-life speed of 33 miles per hour or 53 kilometers an hour is more or less the same as the in-game BT-7s. Indeed, the dev blog doesn't make any mention of a loss of speed, only mentioning a slightly slower acceleration. This means the BT-42 can still be a very successful flanking vehicle, able to quickly flank enemies before delivering a massively powerful shot, destroying the enemies and then quickly withdrawing. It could also be used successfully as an ambush vehicle, crossing the map quickly in order to get into position to ambush unwary enemy tanks. Lastly, the BT-42 only has 3 crew, consisting of 1 driver and 2 turret crew members. This would make the tank quite easy to destroy, especially if a shot penetrates the turret and kills both crew members, which is just more of a reason not to use it in straight up fights or brawls, where the tank will especially suffer. Now, most of these issues are somewhat mitigated by the fact that the BT-42 is going to be implemented as a Tier 1 vehicle. If I had to guess, probably at a battle rating of 1.7 or 2.0. I'm unsure why it's been introduced at such a low tier, as I would have thought a Tier 2 vehicle, maybe around 2.4, 2.7 would make more sense. But of course, this can always be changed at a later date. I also suspect it won't be within the Finnish subtree itself, but more likely within the Swedish tank destroyer lineup. Probably just before the SAV M43 1944. Overall, I'm very glad this vehicle is being introduced to War Thunder, especially as there was originally some indications it wouldn't be released in the Fire and Ice update, which would have been a bit odd since this is a Finland-themed update. So I'm very glad it is confirmed to be coming in the next update, and I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. Anyway, just a short video for today. I'm Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.